Welcome back to the Nancy Levin Show. If you have been thinking about becoming a coach, but you feel like an imposter every time you actually imagine following through on your dream, you are in exactly the right place. So maybe you've asked yourself, who am I to be a coach? Or maybe you're scared someone's going to find out that you don't have it all together. Or maybe you secretly wonder, could I really help people? If any of this sounds familiar, I'm going to show you how professional coach training isn't just a credential, it's a foundation. So let's dive in. Let's look at imposter syndrome as a symptom of growth, not inadequacy. Because here's the truth. Imposter syndrome doesn't show up because you're unqualified. It actually shows up because you care. You care about helping people. You care about doing it in integrity. But caring isn't the same as being ready. And this is where many aspiring coaches get stuck because you tell yourself, I'll start once I feel more confident. But confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from preparing and then practicing. Confidence is not a precondition. It's a byproduct of doing the work with support. And that's why coach training is so powerful, because real training doesn't just give you tools, it gives you a felt sense of competence. It grounds your natural gifts in proven methodology. It gives you the experience to trust yourself as a coach. Because trust isn't something you magically feel, it's something you build. And a structured coach training program is one of the safest, most aligned spaces to build that trust, gradually, responsibly, and in community. If imposter syndrome has been whispering in your ear, telling you you're not ready, maybe it's time to stop fighting it and start answering it with real support. Now, I want to look at the stories that keep aspiring coaches stuck. So let's go a little bit deeper here. The number one thing that keeps aspiring coaches from moving forward is not a lack of talent. It's the stories you tell yourself. Like, I have to be totally healed before I can help others. Other people are already saying and doing what I want to say and do. So what's the point? If I need a coach training program to feel legit, maybe I'm not cut out for this. These are stories, because here's the truth. You are not supposed to know everything before you start. You are supposed to learn, and this is why training exists. You wouldn't perform surgery without going to medical school. And while coaching isn't clinical in this way, it is a deep responsibility. So having a safe, solid foundation isn't just helpful, it's ethical. Wanting support doesn't make you less legit, it makes you wise and professional. Because the truth of the matter is, the coaching industry is unregulated, which means anyone can call themselves a coach. But that doesn't mean that you should, and that doesn't mean you should just hang a shingle and wing it. If you actually care about transformation, if you want to guide people with integrity, then getting trained is the most powerful way to turn your calling into a craft. The people who become powerful, respected coaches, they invest in their craft, not because they doubt themselves, but because they believe in their potential. So if you've been holding back because you don't feel ready, maybe what you really need is the right container to help you become ready. And on this point about the stories you tell yourself, I want to let you know that if you are an aspiring or currently certified coach ready to transform lives, starting with your own, I invite you to download my brand new free workbook. It's called Rewrite the Story Keeping You Stuck. Become the life coach you're meant to be. You can download it for free right now at nancylevin.com/rewrite. nancylevin.com/REWRITE. Okay, now let's keep going. Let's look at turning imposter syndrome into integrity. So let's be clear. Imposter syndrome doesn't disappear on its own. You rise above it by building something real underneath it. And that's what coach training gives you. Tools to navigate real client sessions with confidence, structure to support transformation, not just conversation, mentorship, feedback, real-time practice, and perhaps most importantly is the powerful shift you will experience in your own identity. When you move from aspiring coach to trained and certified coach, you stop guessing and you start trusting yourself. You stop asking, who am I to do this? And start saying, I know how to do this. Because here's what's true. You don't need to wait until you're fearless. You simply need to take the next aligned step. You don't build a coaching business in your head. You build it with mentorship, action, and accountability. And getting the training and mentorship you need to feel ready is not a weakness, it is wisdom. Coaching is a calling. We all know what it feels like to want to help others. But first, we need to make sure we're not bypassing putting attention on ourselves. That's why I will always talk about the importance of learning how to coach yourself first, so that you can then coach clients from the scar and not the wound. Coaching is a calling, but it's also a skill, and you can learn it, you can master it, and you can build your business and life around it. And I'll tell you this, every single coach you admire, they didn't just wake up with clients and confidence. They trained, they got support, they practiced, and they built their authority over time. Mastery comes from practice, not from perfection. And training gives you a safe space to practice with purpose. Here's the deal. Your potential is calling you. And I am inviting you to train for it. So before we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this. Imposter syndrome is loudest when your dreams are closest. So if you've been called to coach, don't ignore that voice, nurture it. If you want to feel confident, competent, and clear, you need to train. The world doesn't need more perfect coaches. It needs more prepared, present, and purpose-driven coaches. And you already have the heart. Now it's time to build the skill. Being ready is not about knowing everything. It's about being willing to grow inside the right container. And so once again, if you are an aspiring or already certified coach ready to transform lives starting with your own, I invite you to download my brand new free workbook, Rewrite the Story Keeping You Stuck. Become the life coach you're meant to be. nancylevin.com/rewrite. That's REWRITE. And remember, you are not behind, you are becoming. And you are more ready in this moment than you think. So until next week, keep rising, keep showing up, and keep honoring the coach within.